Okay, we should be live. I'm just gonna go check. Let me know about the music here, if it is overpowering or if there's any issues with it. I have been messing around with the settings so that I can hear it properly, and it's kind of quieter for you guys, so it's more background. And hopefully we get the chat there. Let's open this up. I'm going with a bit of a heavier synth thing today for the music. Okay, hey, look at that. We're learning. We are learning. Does that also do that? I don't know. Okay, I think we good. I think we good. Oh, I know what I need to do. I'm an idiot. Give me a second, guys. I do apologize. I need to, like, do a shout-outy thing as well, so that people know we're actually, you know, doing the stuff and things. So let me do that. There we go. Painting and chill. That'll do. That will do. Let's send it out into the void. Let's plug it in a few other places I'm allowed to plug it. We'll plug it there as well. Boom. Okay. I think I've done all the adminning that I need to admin before I can stop adminning to do the actual stuff that I'm trying to do. Let me know how my audio is. My love, if you could check that for me, that'd be great. I know, it's an inconvenience. I'm sorry. Okay. So, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Do let me know how the music is, if it's overpowering and whatnot. I'm going to have to get like a little intro timer thing, so it's not just like screen hello. How is everyone? I hope we are doing well. Welcome to the weekly kind of live hangout, chill, chat, paint, all of that stuff. We will mostly just to see if the audio's fine and the music's fine. I've turned the music. You don't hear the music? No. Okay. I'll turn it up a wee bit. Let me know when you can actually hear it, because there's definitely music playing, and I just turned it up a bit now. Yep. Because it's super loud for me. I'm assuming you still... Oh, hello. Senor Uber? I can't. Okay, is it overpowering? Is it... Good evening, Senor. Okay, so you can hear the music and I'm not overpowering it. Fantastic. Happy days. Welcome in. Appreciate the feedback. Thank you. Technical stuff sorted. Hopefully, now that we know that minus 20 decibels for the music is good. Huh? Perfect. Okay, so let's recap what we've been up to this week. So I have, like any good wargamer, multiple concurrent projects on the go. Unfortunately, unlike most, I have to try to get a video. Well, I don't have to try and get a video out every week. I choose to. That's definitely something that is an optional. If you didn't catch it, I did pop a... hey, Mr. Worst. Okay, there you go. I see. Well, welcome on in. So, if you didn't catch it, we did pop a video up of how to paint... Hang on. Sorry, you can see my palm a little bit there. How are we doing with this? Is this concentrating? There we go. So we painted up this chap, and we did a cheeky tutorial on it. So if you haven't seen that out yet, look, if you haven't seen that, please do go check it out. Thanks, Lucy. As always with these earlier Wednesday streams, we do have a Lucy in the background, and she is ultra demanding when it comes to attention. What, Lucy? Come here and tell me. I can't hear you. I've got headphones on and the music blaring.
I think I want to make something, which is my favorite thing, but I want to make something which you love so much.
What's that?
The characters.
The characters? You're not touching any characters at the moment.
I'm going to draw them.
Okay, you go draw them and I'll look at them when you're done, okay?
Yeah, but I need to get them over to my table.
Look, the chat's saying that. Which characters? Your characters, these ones?
Yes.
Okay, so proud dad moment. Here's Lucy's first miniatures, which we're going to be painting this weekend. She wants to paint this one first. And what colours did you pick?
Purple.
Purple and black for this one. And this one?
Green.
Green. There we go. And look.
What?
Chat, what does it say? Not that bit. This bit.
Oh. Hi, Lucy.
There you go. Here you go. You can go put them on your desk and you can draw them. That's perfect. So,
Got to draw mine, because they're my favorite one.
yeah, they're all yours. So, what have we been working on this week? Sorry, guys, a little bit distracted. Kitty aggro is a real thing. So, as part of our ongoing Dark Water...
I'm gonna get my headphones on so I can draw.
Thanks for the update, Lucy. As part of our Dark Water project and the video that I'm hoping to get out this week, we have basically been roughly painting up these guys. So these are painted to a very basic level, and all they really need is a wash over the cloth, the various cloths and things like that, and they're pretty much done. So the goal is to get the majority of them. There's 14, and they'll all be looking a bit closer to like this guy, looking a little bit dirty, a little bit weathered, and that. So 12 of them are almost at this standard now, so that's something we've been doing. We've also been working a little bit on these chaps, who are part of our Dark Angels group. Now there's 3 of them, so these guys are, I would say, very close to being tabletop ready. There is just, so this guy's the one that's been progressed the most. He's looking pretty clean, but I need to go in and like edge highlight and do all that stuff. So that's one of the Blade Guard veterans. Thank you, my love. This guy is the second one I've been working on. He doesn't have any silvery bits done yet, but then he'll pretty much be done to the same standard as the other one. It is Mr. Worst. And then there's this guy who, as you can see, I'm part way through doing the golds, so we'll work on him a little bit today. We also have these. Granted, these were done last week, but each of them have got these shields, so that goes with some of them. So some of them wear them on their backs. This chap the shield just goes on like so. So that's kind of where they'll be looking like when they are done. I haven't glued those on yet, and there's still loads of work to do, but these guys, I've got like 2 more months to finish them off. What else have we been doing this week? So a video, I got a confession time. I got a little bit hyped when they announced the Eldari Corsairs, which, if you're not too familiar with 40k, the Eldari Corsairs are essentially space elf pirates. Okay, they're like pirates in space that are elves, so it's cool. And I was like, I'm gonna put some paint on mine. So I ended up with this really cool kind of like dark turquoise guy, and I'm gonna paint this guy up for a tutorial. But I started working on some of them, and like I'm really, like, you can see the sort of progression of colors on this. This guy is like an assassin. Can you see his eyes in there? No. So I've just started blocking out the colors on those, but then I was like, oh shit, I need to actually get a tutorial going, or a video going for this week. So there's 10 of those in total, and we've been working on those, and we did a little bit of work on this chap. So he's had some of the edge highlights have been started on him. You can kind of you can see it around his belly more than anything. But we haven't really done much more. Like, we've done some on his hand up here. I don't know how well you can see this. But we started picking out the green armor around his face, around his hands, on his chest. That's going to be a lot more vibrant. So he's going to be brought up to look a little bit more like this guy in terms of the coloring. We've had quite a busy week, considering. We also did some assembly work this week. We also did some, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the old camera, but we did some basing for this chap. So we decided he was going to have some cool rock to sort of stand on, because he comes with his own little, how well can you see this? It's hard because it's black. So he comes standing on a tactical rock, but I was just like, nah, I'm gonna bump that up a little bit, and we made his cool base. So we did that this week. You may have seen my post on the Big Pig box. So just to give you an idea, here is said Big Pig. Plus, we did like a cool base on for him as well. But here is said Big Pig, and here is his hand for comparison. Big Pig is indeed sizable, and looks very impressive just being undercoated. He's got like a load of other stuff to go on the side, but I'm really looking forward to painting him up. And what else did we do this week? Oh, we picked out an old project, which is one that we started recording. Garrosh, yeah, kind of. So I kind of took a notion to start painting my orcs, my Age of Sigmar, like my fantasy orcs. So this is another one of them, and he's pretty cool. But these chains basically attach to, like, he's gonna have really cool yellow and kind of like dark blue, black armor. Like, he's got like a fake beard going on, because orcs don't have facial hair in Warhammer. You just get hair squigs, which are like little creatures. But yeah, I started a tutorial for this chap yonks ago. He's got 2 big like wings that go on the front, so he's kind of in segments. Here, let me try and give you a vibe. So there's one of the wings, and there's the other. So these are kind of like their meaty front fists that go on the front. And as I say, I was like, I really want to paint my orcs. or my Oryx. So there is a tutorial in progress for this guy. It's old. Oh, really? Okay. But in order to do that, we had to start working on his base. So this is the base for the big guy. It's hard to show you on this camera. But basically, it's some cork bark, rocks, filler, the odd little 3D printed crystal, and... Okay. Sounds cool. Yes, Lucy? So
I made a picture.
That's kind of how he's going to look when he's on there.
Like.
Oh. Well, that isn't any of the colours that you told me you were going to do.
Yeah, but I just want to pick them.
Okay. Who's this one for? You want me to show them? Yep. You want me to show chat? Okay, I'll show chat very quickly. Guys, Lucy wanted me to share her drawing that she's just made. Look at that. It's very cool. Using the book that I made years ago, a hand-stitched book.
Yeah, I used the empty page.
You did use the empty pages.
So I could just color in. I just let you draw with the brown one.
Okay. Last show and tell before we actually get onto... second last show and tell. So this chap, he's a miniature that I picked up off of Amazon. Here we're doing like a special deal for this character. This is Titus. So if any of you have played Space Marine, this is the character that you play in the Space Marine game. He's been recently promoted to captain, but this is Lieutenant Titus. And the paint on this, you might notice it's a slightly different texture to usual. He is going to be part of a video where I will paint him up using rattle can and just regular paints as opposed to my airbrush. And last but not least, I picked up this guy who you might not be familiar with. This is Lycus, and he is a space elf Phoenix Lord for the Warp Spiders. So he comes like she, I'm not entirely sure, but basically comes with this really cool web on the base, and I've kept them separated, but also has this like wicked backpack that kind of just sits on in there. So you kind of get an idea for the look. They have this really cool jump pack backpack, which is intricate as fuck. So I'm very hyped to paint that up as well. And I'm like, oh, there's so many good things going on. I don't know where to start. But where I should start is essentially with the stuff that I need to get finished, right? Which is why we are here. So I think what we will do first is we will finish painting the gold bits on this chap. But how is everyone? What have you been up to? There you go. That's my rundown of stuff. I picked up. Yeah, I take part in something over here. I don't know if you guys have it. It's called the People's Postcode Lottery. Basically, you put your postcode, which is a like a zip code, I think is something you guys call it, and there is like a lottery of these that gets pulled regularly, and I won a free gift from it. So I was like, maybe I should get something that will help me like shake up my paints and whatnot. So it's like a 20 quid gift. So I ordered this, which is a hand massager. So this is what we're gonna do to shake up our paints. Is great. Is absolutely great. You could buy yourself a proper vortex mixer, which is like a paint shaker, but it would cost you the best part of like 60-70 quid. I got that for free, but I saw you could buy them for, I don't know, like 15-16 quid. So super cheap. Okay, now the struggle is The struggle is going to be making sure that we do keep painting this on the camera. So if I go off camera, do please tell me. But I'll be super intrigued to know what you are. Well, you said you're working and lurking, so that's cool. That's cool. Appreciate you being here, helping me with some views. Apparently, the UK is going to be hit by major snow over the next couple of weeks. In some places, we are going to be getting a very sizable amount. Like up in the Highlands, I think they're getting it was either 40 centimeters or 40 inches of snow. Like unheard of levels of snow. And I think I live in the only area where the snow is like avoiding. It's like, why? I want time off because snow. But that's apparently due to hit mid-February. Okay, fair enough. Excuse me. Fair enough. Well, let me blether away more than sufficiently for everyone's benefit. As we continue with our pledge. If you're not familiar with what said pledge is, basically my brother and I have agreed to paint 2,000 points of an army over the course of the year, and his army of choice was the Tyranids. And I was like, well, I've got all these Dark Angels just sitting around that I should probably, you know, get round to painting at some point. And here we are. So it's broken down by quarters. So for quarter one, I have these guys, some regular intercessors to paint up. I have a Gravis basically the combat patrol, right? So Gravis Captain, some Hellblasters. I want to paint some of the Hellblasters after this, actually, because I picked up some contrast paint at the nerd shop at the weekend that I think is going to make for a really cool plasma glowy effect. So I'd like to try that out, and I was kind of saving it for the stream today to, as they say around here, gear a bash. So yes. Give it a go is the rough translation. Speaking of TTRPG stuff, though, I will be, I'd imagine Custodians of Knights to be the easy. Yeah, so if you're using Knights, that's like, potentially you could just do it with 4 big Knights. You know, literally paint one every 3 months and you're good. My list, there is a video out there with the list, so if you are intrigued, feel free to go check that out. Mine's pretty balanced, I think. I tried to pick up all flavors of the Dark Angels, because if you are not familiar with them, they have like 3 kind of what do you call them, like detachments within the army. You have like the fast-paced mobile element of it, which is called the Raven Wing. You have the big chunky better armored people, which is called the Death Wing, which is like these guys, bone armor wielding, usually Terminators. And then you have just the regular dudes, which is affectionately called the Green Wing. And I have kind of like a healthy mix of all 3 elements. Next quarter is, oh here, let me pull it up and I can tell you what I have planned for next quarter. I'm pretty sure next quarter is light on numbers, but high on like difficulty. if I'm honest. Where is it? Here we go. So I've already planned out what I'm going to be doing every quarter. So yeah, quarter 1 is my Apothecary Biologist, which is the white armored guy. Captain in Gravis armor, who's the green guy that looks all fancy. Blade Guard Veterans, which is these 3 guys. 5 Hellblasters, and then 10 Intercessors. Next quarter is Lionel Johnson, which is a big, like, Primarch character model. 3 Aggressors and 3 Inner Circle Companions. So only 7 models, but that's not so bad. Quarter 3 is another character model, the Terminator guy, Belial. Then 2 sets of Terminators, 5-man each. And then in the last quarter, I've got another character, Azrael. I have another character, a Chaplain on bike, or an Outrider bike, which I'm going to be converting to be a Grav bike. I think I can show you the distinction if you give me a second. As you long-term friends who have seen me do things on other channels and whatnot, you will be very aware of the fact that it is not that much of a challenge to get me distracted and looking at other things. Right, where is my Outriders? There they are. Okay, so I have a few different Space Marine armies. Most of them are in various stages of completion. But my Blood Ravens are... They're the ones that you find in the Dawn of War game. So they're kind of like my main army, if you will. I then have my homebrew army, which is the Sons of Artos, or my Space Bears army. So my plan is, and the reason that's important so you understand the difference. So here is Blood Ravens bike. There's still loads of work that can be done on this. It's literally just been painted up to a very quick kind of tabletop standard. But this is an Outrider bike, essentially. So this is just giving you an idea of, you know, what a regular bike looks like. I'll just launch it across the table, don't mind me. What a regular bike looks like, and sort of how big it is. What I plan to do for my Raven Wing for this army is essentially to convert it so that it looks like a bike like this. Not with all the fur and everything, that's my Space Bear thing. So essentially this is turning it into like what they call a Grav bike. So removing the front end and giving it a cool like anti-gravity type thing going on. Space Bears, by the way, these are my army. You can see the shoulders are different, the helmets are different. This is a custom claw weapon, and obviously this is like green stuff sculpted fur. What else have we got on there? Not much on this side, but yeah, it's basically my very, very custom army. So that's going to take forever to paint up. But once painted up, it will hopefully match this guy who's my test model. So that's kind of the colour that I'm looking for with them. You can see the custom shoulders are picked out there. That was actually a 3D printed head, and the fur on his shoulders is all sculpted in green stuff as well. So that, and there's the helmets for Space Bears, or in my case, Sons of Artos. But there you go. So the idea is to convert my bikes that I'll be doing later on in the year so that they have that same kind of hover look to them. And then once done, I also want to kind of make some parts that will allow me to like put big wings on the sides to match the old school vibe of the Raven wing, because they have like a heavy feathery motif attributed to them. So I want to 3D sculpt some parts and, you know, print them out. That's one of my goals for the year, is to actually make some custom parts and have them available on, I don't know, like Colts, or available through Patreon or something. Something along those lines. Hello. Child of Nurgle. Bearer of Plagues.
I got to show everybody something.
You got to you got to, or you would like to?
I would like to.
Okay, can I look at it first?
Okay. You can look at them.
Oh. What's the one on the right? Sorry, guys. You're getting to see some more art.
This one with some colors.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I can show them. Hang on 2 seconds.
Let me show them, okay?
Oh, you want to show them? Sorry, chat. Lucy wants to take over very quickly. Okay, you can't come on my lap.
I got this.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Look at that, chat. That's what she's going to be painting on the models. Very cool. Good job, darling. Yep.
I will. So that's the pictures.
Okay, that's your reference, is it? Okay, good to know.
Okay, that's both
It's very cute that she's getting super excited.
in my book.
Okay,
They're both done.
are you giving me them back to put on my desk?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Right there.
I'll put them back, yep. We'll have pictures on the Discord once they're done, so you can see how she does. But yes, I really would like to get some 3D printed parts out into the wild this year. And I don't want to be reliant on somebody else's parts. I want to make them myself and dip my toe into those waters. I would also like to try and I don't really know like the legality side of it, but when I was sort of growing up in the hobby, are we okay on camera? Yes, we are. When I was growing up and first sort of started playing in the hobby, there was a bunch of terrain that they made to go with 40k, and they are very, very dated now, and everything has had sort of a size creep, if you like. So everything's bigger. Like the Marines you play with are bigger, the models you play with, but they're all a lot bigger. So what I would like to do is, even if it's just for my own benefit, is essentially recreate those nostalgic terrain pieces and use them in the gaming table that we're making for these armies to play on. So ideally I would like to have that all done as well by the end of the year. Like I have lots of plans this year. We'll see how many of them actually make it, but yeah, that's part of the goal. I'm super motivated to try and get this channel moving in the right direction, and you know, being active on it is usually a good idea. For that. I have also been chatting to other YouTubers, and I have potentially got my very first collab lined up for a bit later in the year. I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm very excited. Essentially, my understanding is it's going to take the form of like a me versus them type thing, or who done it better. So I will be calling on your support when the time comes to vote, and if I don't earn your vote with my paint job, I understand. I need to improve. But I can't tell you what it is because we're literally just talking it out right now. But the idea in principle is happening. It's just the details that need to be finalized. I'm very excited. I wanted to share that with you. It'll be my very first collab. No. But to answer your question, sorry, I got very sidetracked. Nights you can do, like if you really wanted to just cheese it, you could literally just do 4 big nights and do 1 a month, and you'd pretty much, like, I think they're just shy of about 500 points each, so it might be that you'd need to do maybe 3 big nights and a couple of the smaller ones. But nights in of themselves are very, very big. They're very, very big. They're very, very difficult to paint. Like, don't get me wrong, painting squads and minis isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. There's probably just as much detail on painting a combat patrol or 17 guys than there is to painting 1 big night. But you guys, I'm pretty sure I've shown you my nights. They are very sizable in comparison. But thank you. And yeah, custodes are they're a bit of hype about them at the moment. In the recent preview, there's going to be new Custodes miniatures for the Horus Heresy. So they're pretty cool. They're kind of getting a similar treatment to you're not going to understand this unless I show you an example. They're kind of getting similar treatment to the old Stormcast Eternal to new Stormcast Eternal kind of glow up in terms of like their proportions. And if you give me just a second, I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Because it just so happens I have examples that I can show you. So the OG dropped a bit. It's got into the warp. It has been recovered. Nobody panic. So this is an example of an older Stormcast Eternal. This is one I painted up. I'm very happy with this as well. So she is very robed though, so she oh, excuse me, she might not be the best example. Let's see if I can find one that is a little bit more kind of normal. Yeah, okay. This guy will do. So here is an example of old school. Ignore his backpack. That's just on his base so it doesn't get lost. So this is like old school Stormcast, very, very chunky proportions. And then with the, what's he got, a two-handed mace? Yeah, so with the newer ones, like version 2, they've kind of slimmed the proportions down, stretched it out a little bit. This guy's a special character, so that's probably not a fair comparison. Here, we'll do this guy instead. Maybe that's a bit better for you. So yeah, so this is a newer one, and you can see like it's a bit of a sleeker design. Obviously this is a male on the left, this is a female model on the right, but they've kind of, it feels like they've sort of stretched out the proportions slightly and narrowed the frame. Like the shoulders are less chunky, they're a bit more refined and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean by they've had this kind of effect. So for the new Custodes, they've had their proportions stretched a little bit. But hopefully having the visual aid there it helps to explain what I was trying to say, and I didn't put that one back. My bad. So back into the cabinet you go. Stormcast first edition models look pretty. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, I forgot to say as well, my quarter 4 Dark Angels, the other so I've got 2 squads of Outriders that I will be looking to convert to be floaty bikes, and then I have a Storm Speeder as well. So that's what in total you've got. Azrael, who's a character, this guy, excuse me, coming through. So that's the character for that quarter 4. But then there's also a chaplain on a bike, which will need to be converted, and then there's another 6 bikes which will also need to be converted, and then there is a Storm Speeder, which is kind of like a bigger hovering vehicle with lots of firepower. So yeah, and that will be essentially my Raven Wing, although the Azrael character is the affectionately known Green Wing character, but he's supposed to be really good for getting you CP, or at least he is in the current edition. There's supposedly a new edition coming out later this year, so it might be that the rules are all changed and CP generation isn't a thing, but I don't see them doing away with that in completely, because it's been a consistent thing for a while now. Okay, gold, Halo, and bits that I've missed. But yeah, I do have some knights, although my knights are not the good knights, they're the baddies, the baddie knights, because I like the spiky bits, and yeah. I'd get them out to show you, but that's going to take too long, and I don't actually know that I would fit it on the camera under the studio lights and all that jazz. Okay, so that's silver on that. Bit of gold there. I think Sam's also talking about changing his list that he put out, but more details of that to come in March when we do the update. He might actually start joining me on these sort of hangouts. Okay, Mr. Worst, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Good night. Okay, he's starting to look pretty cool. I just need to go around and do his little halo now. And then, how are we doing for time? Okay, we're nearly already an hour in. So I'm gonna very quickly do his halo, and then we are gonna prep the Hell Blasters for a little bit of work, because these guys are almost to what I would consider tabletop ready for them, and that's kind of like my minimum benchmark for painting, is to basically get all the colors down, and then I can kind of go through and paint all the good details that I want to. I've also started taking part in a challenge that's ongoing, and that's being run by G-Dubs themselves. They are looking to paint a million minis by the 9th of May, I think is the day. So basically what they want you to do is to essentially go down to their local store, pledge how many minis you're going to paint, and then at the end of it, take all the minis that have been painted during that time down and have like a big look at what we did collectively as a group. Given that my store is a small store, he has the manager there has a target of, it's just shy of 3,500 minis painted in what is essentially the 4 months or 3 and a bit months of the challenge. But collectively over all the GWs, they want to have painted 1 million minis, which is wild. But it'd be very cool. So given that I already have my combat patrol and my pledge to do for the first quarter, so the first 3 months is already going to be sitting at 10, 15, 18, 19, plus the other guy 20, plus the one I painted for that, so that's 21 for just my Dark Angels. I then have, I think it's like 49 models for the How to Paint Darkwater series. So that's 70 already that I sort of was already pledging to do on my own before I was aware of this little competition thing. So I pledged 100. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna really try and push myself, paint up 100 minis before the 9th of May. and see how it goes. So given that I've also now just started a Corsair warband, which will need to be painted up for the video, that's another 10. So that brings me to 80. Essentially. Potentially. It's easy. It'll be easy. It'll be easy, he says. There's still a lot of minis to paint. Part of my other goal is to finish off my How to Paint Space Marine series before the new edition comes out, which is rumored to be kind of the middle of the year, so June, July time. So there's another, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got another 7 of those to paint up. So that brings me close to 90. Plus Titus, plus others, plus my Beat the Backlog stuff. Like, there's a decent chunk. So yeah, I'm quietly confident. In fact, fuck it, I'm not quietly confident at all. I'm very confident that I'll be able to manage it. And if I do, that will I think that's more minis than I've painted in the whole previous year, done in the first like third of the year. So that'll be cool. Make a small dent in my pile of shame. Sorry, my pile of potential. My bad. My pile of potential. Okay. Another wee spike to go. And then a little bit of touch up here and there. Where these weird flaky bits are coming from, we'll have to fix that. Okay. So that's that done. Just silver metallics to do on them now, and that is essentially the minimum requirement for those 3 completed. Right. Hellblasters. So these guys have very cool big fat plasma guns, and what I want to try and do is test how my new contrast paint works, which is this Frost Heart. Now, when we were in the shop, my brother was looking for a contrast paint to cover kind of like the brains of all of his Tyranids, all the bugs, and he settled on this color. I thought the vibrancy of a thematic blue would have been better, personally, which is this color. It's a very, very bright and vibrant teal color, whereas this is much more of like a plasma blue glow. But in fact, here, let's just test it out on this guy, because we already preemptively started painting in the white part of the plasma the other day. I'm just going to get my handy dandy paint vibrator. That's right, I said it. I'll do it on camera so you don't get suspicious. Look, see? Sorry, paint vibrator, paint agitator. My bad. Okay. Not working as well on this paint, actually. So I'm just going to have to revert to shaking it manually.
Can I shake it as well?
Sure, you can shake it as well.
I did it!
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
Give. Are you going to bed?
Yep.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for sharing your drawings.
You're welcome. I'm just showing them so I can just, like, so they can see what I just done.
Yeah, I know, and they love seeing your pictures. Thank you.
Yeah, and then so you can know which color I just used.
Yep. Well, we'll do that at the weekend, okay?
Yep.
Get your monkey butt up them stairs.
On Saturday or
On
Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday, correct.
I think
I think we'll figure it out at the weekend. I think we'll figure it out at the weekend.
Saturday.
Maybe. Get your butt upstairs.
I can see it on Mommy's computer.
Oh, honestly. Honestly. Children. 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 Well, I think that's good enough. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that is plasma blue right there. I like it. What do you think, guys? Does that look plasma-y enough for you? It's very vibrant. I like it. Very, very vibrant. So good. Which is just what you want in a plasma gun, right? You want it to be cool and full of glowy, nasty looking stuff that you can just shoot out at your enemies. Okay, yep, I think that's a winner. Yeah. We'll definitely have to highlight it up. We don't want to just leave it at that. But that is very cool. Consider that test a success. So let's just prepare the other areas now. Trying to remember what we used for it. I want to say pallid witch flesh, but it could have been Ulthuan Grey. Not 100% sure. Do I just try some ceramite white? Might just try some ceramite white, although notoriously ceramite white is a rubbish colour. Don't mind me, I'm just throwing my paints all over the place. Let's grab that and that. Let's pop that in there. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I don't like using ceramite white. It usually goes very gloopy. So let's see. I'm just gonna agitate the paint though. Buzz, 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 buzz. how this looks. Okay. Not terrible is the answer. Let's see how well it covers when we paint it on. So with these, I was very much touching the plasma. Basically what we're looking to do is pick up this ribbed area, or these coils, with this white to then go over it with the extra glowy paint. So I'm just going to start painting this on and see how we get on. You know what? That ain't too bad. I'm also not too bothered about being careful here because the gun's going to be red. So any overspill of this white isn't really a problem. That's one really cool use for contrast paints, is kind of effects. And you kind of just take advantage of the properties of whatever paint's underneath it with it, so you're just using it to kind of tint it essentially. Which is nice. Makes things a little bit easier. You can actually paint like just using contrast paints really. Over the top of a prime if you really wanted to. I'm not a big fan of the effect that gives, but it's perfectly acceptable. Like, it's not an invalid way of painting your minis, especially if you're really not into painting or you're not confident in painting. It's certainly a useful tool to have in your arsenal, I would say. I was thinking as well, I might do like as a video further down the line, is just painting a model entirely using like contrast, or how to. So there's a term that goes around, a lot of people call it slap chop. But essentially it's a how to get models painted quickly method. And the idea is that you prime your model, you then dry brush lighter colors over the top of it and use that to kind of create your like your tonal variation, just using like grayscale essentially. And then once you've established everything, you then go over it with the contrast paints, and that will let the grayscale tonal variations underneath kind of shine through, if you will, so that you don't have to then edge highlight, you don't have to go through and do crazy layering or any of that stuff. You can literally just do it and be done. So given that part of my backlog is tremendous, I have no doubt that at some point I'm gonna beat the backlog and be stuck doing like techniques that allow me to speed paint essentially, especially if I get stuck doing a bigger box set. I can see that happening. But I don't have that yet, luckily. I'm not looking forward to it when it does, because part of that beat the backlog challenge is I gave myself 12 hours to paint whatever, and then if it's not done, then that's it. I put it down. So it's a challenge. Yeah, absolutely. Well, touch wood, this ceramite white so far has not been that bad. Usually it's horrendous to work with. Maybe now that I'm using a power agitator, mechanical aid to force the paint to mix is not actually being all that difficult to work with. Maybe that's it. Have a quick drink. Think ideally I would love to be able to. Why is there so much fluff on this? I don't know where does this fluff come from, but it seems it doesn't matter how much I clean my models, this fluff just reappears. I guess pets, right? So it doesn't come from me. I'm bald pretty much. I'm gonna blame the dog. Be done with it. She'll be lying sleeping somewhere and she'll hear me mention her and be like, what? What did I do? I'll take a tea, please. Thank you. You okay? gonna have some very glowy weapons tonight, at least. We've still got ages, so maybe we'll get a bit more of these guys done. I do need to get round to watching the second season of Fallout at some point. I still haven't started watching that. I know Sass has been watching it and playing Fallout quite religiously for a while now. They do keep talking about it at work, and I'm like, but I haven't seen it yet. But then I'm also kind of like, well, it's been more than 2 days, so it's on me for not watching it, not them spoiling it. So, yeah, I guess I'm gonna need to do that at some point. Just have so much other stuff that I'm watching at the moment. I started watching Ozark, and that's really good if you haven't given that a chance. Whew. I said I'm trying to not be too concerned about any overspilling that the white has on the surrounding green, because the green will not be green for too long. Thank you, my love. Okay. With the white down, I need to let it dry. So I'm going to grab some flesh, essentially, flesh color for the sergeant here, because he is not helmeted. So I'm going to use some Bugman's Glow. Pick out a little bit of detail there. I picked up a few other colors as well at the nerd shop, namely Imperial Fist Yellow, which is like, again, it's a contrast paint, but it's kind of like a heavily pigmented contrast. So the idea for that is that I'm going to try and use that as a replacement for what was originally, I think it was called Lamenter's Yellow Glaze, is what I want to say. I don't think I've got Lamenter's Yellow Glaze. But they did a while back. Oh, hello. G-Dubs did a while back a couple of... I don't know where mine is now. They did some like ink consistency paints like yonks ago. There was a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. So basically a bit more vibrant washes that would actively stain the surface, and instead we now have contrast paints, which essentially do a very similar job. But I want to use that yellow to try and make my come up with a good recipe for my orcs. So that's part of future plans as well. No, not the slippers. Thanks, Windows Defender. You and Adobe always seem to pick the best times to be like, hey, you've got updates pending, or here's a random notification that you didn't need to know about. What you munching on over there? Okay. So this guy's had half of his head ravaged. And he has a bionic eye. I said this guy's had half his head ravaged and he's got a bionic eye. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. There you go. Pretty well, actually. Yeah. You see, he's got a fake eye going on. There we go. Whew. I don't particularly want to start doing other... Uh-oh. No! I missed this in the priming of the big pig. God damn it. Okay. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We are gonna have a quick look at the see what we're dealing with when it comes to these hell blasters. Okay. Okay. Oh, hello. Saved it. We're good. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. We're just gonna get some corn red and start picking out the red details on the model, which is essentially excuse me. So the gun. And well, I don't know if any of the backpack, because they have big funky backpacks. Let me do a different check. This will help. Okay, so it just gets painted as the same color as the... Oh, okay, cool. Well, that was a useful reference. So let's have a look. Okay. Grab this. brush. Use this to get a little bit of red on the old wet palette. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. And before I actually get into painting it, I have a pressing need to go to the toilet, so I shall be right back. A urgent and pressing need. The joys of being on medication that makes you need to pee, guys. Don't recommend. Apologies, chat. I have returned. I had a mighty and pressing need that required attention. Don't get old, would be my advice. Don't get old and don't need medication to function if you can help it. Also, here's a random thing that happened today. So, Lucy is 6 now, right? She'll be 7 this year, but she's 6 currently. And she's just been invited to essentially a... What? I was getting to it, thank you. A spa day. Like, am I, like, just, I thought, personally, I was like, I thought that's something that you started to do with kind of, like, preteen, teenage kids, like, of a certain age. Not 6-year-olds. Or 7-year-olds. Like, you know... I was shooketh. I was like, the fuck is this? A spa day? Hello? That is something that ladies who luncheon have. Not 6-year-old girls. Anyway, maybe that's just my old man opinion. Who knows? So I'm not going to make the same mistake that I did in my tutorial how to paint these guys, because I mean, don't get me wrong, you can paint them however you want. I could fucking paint them pink and purple for all that it matters. They're mine to paint as you please, right? But in terms of the art that is available for referencing, I found out about halfway through painting the Dark Angel Sergeant that the guns for these guys are not all red as I originally was led to believe. In fact, the gun is only about half red. The remainder being silver and or black, which was news to me. So if you're looking to paint these guys up the same as the G-dubs way, if you will, then yeah, keep that in mind, and make use of the reference art that they have that I tell everyone else to do that I didn't do and fucked up because of it. So, you know, that's a thing. Practice a little bit about what you preach as well. It's usually not a bad thing, right? Again, apologies for my squeaky desk. It's a thing. Some of you might be thinking, this red does not look all that vibrant. Well, you would not be incorrect in your observations. I like to use this darker red to kind of give the subsequent layers of red more of a foundation of which to work from, and this red essentially will stay in like the recesses, the darker areas, but also bright red over dark green is no bueno. It would take many layers to fix. My love, did you leave the heating on?
No, I turned it off.
Okay. I was like, I could swear that I could hear the heating going. I was like, I live in a house full of lizards. I have an actual lizard, but I also have my other half and my daughter, who are both actual lizards. I need the house to be roasting. I retain heat pretty well. So one of the perks of my condition is that I'm just generally very warm all the fucking time. And yeah, sucks. John? pretty common.
We walked all the way from the London to cut the same one.
He's a really nice guy, the new one.
Very quick accident.
Did you struggle? Sammy, who's Australian and has been living in Scotland for the better part of 9 years now, I think. Is struggling. Furnace, yeah, I mean, I just run hot, okay guys, I can't help it. Although, keep in mind that we're still technically in the middle of winter. Somebody got up and turned the fan on in the middle of the night the other night. Just saying, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay.
But I get that when I get something as well.
She turned the fan on, guys. Listen, stop providing context and logical explanations. Of course, yeah, confirmation bias, 100%. So those are the parts for reference on the gun that are supposed to be read based off of the artwork. He doesn't have like a helmet or anything kicking about, so we don't get to do the eyes as well. We do on these ones though. More fluff. More fluff. Why is there always fluff? Oh, it's so annoying. Literally everywhere. Everywhere is fluff. Honestly. Okay. How long have we got? About a quarter of an hour, give or take. Okay. Let's see if we can get this red finished. Or this layer of red finished at least. That would be nice. Bad dreams?
No, she was playing.
Oh, was
Back
she?
in the original. I thought she was perfect.
Was she in bed at least?
Huh?
Was she in bed at least?
Yeah, laying down.
I'm very happy with the progress that I'm making on with these guys though. It definitely has been a big focus on hobbying this year for me, or at least the channel has taken more of a front seat. Kind of neglected when I started working full time, but that's to be expected to an extent, I think. things have kind of settled, work is very quiet. I wish that I had the capability to work from home again, though. That would be nice. Apparently, my team is the only team in my entire company that is not allowed or not afforded the privilege of being allowed to work from home, despite my role in said job being completely not customer facing at all. So yeah, I don't get it. Je ne comprends pas, as they say in France. Okay. Well, we got the red down on 2 of them. I'm going to very quickly jump back to the frost heart. We're going to pick out the plasma on these guns, and I think that will take us to the end of the day. Oh, excuse me. That is really good for plasma glow, not gonna lie. Look at that for quick and easy plasma. So good, so good. Spend a bit of time putting the foundation down, the white, and then you just go over it with this. And you even have to really be careful how you're applying it. Just paint it on the white. I don't even think the camera's doing it justice. It's very, very vibrant. It's a really cool effect. I'm very happy with that, in case you couldn't tell. When that red's done on these, this is really gonna pop. I might go over it with some like white highlights on the upper areas as well, just to really bring out the glowiness, the glowiness. I don't know. But it's super nice. Dry on him now. Very, very cool. I'm very happy with that. Again, a lot of progress made in a smidge under 2 hours. But I think I am going to wrap things up there. I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea, watch some random shit on YouTube for a bit, and then head off to bed. Thank you for hanging out with me this evening. It is very much appreciated. If you are watching this after the event and wondering what the hell I'm doing, there is a Tale of Two Brothers video on the channel which can explain everything, but that's going to be it for me for today. Yeah, thank you for being here, thank you for hanging out, appreciate it. Lurkers as well, I'll be back doing this next week, so same time, same place on Wednesday, and look out for a new video on Sunday. Also, we do hang out on the Discord on the regular, so if you want to, feel free to jump on the Tabletop Tavern Discord. We talk a bunch of random stuff, so not just Warhammer, but there's a lot of tabletop RPG oriented stuff on there as well. So do feel free to check us out there. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care. Toodaloo.